started something new. Very often we can see the inspiration behind a product, you know, it's from that or that or that. For this one, honestly, it was kind of something that, okay, it's coming from nowhere and that's it. So it doesn't happen very often, but a feeling that you're touching something new.
Here we go.
First time I played the original Thief was a little after its launch. And I remember being like, wait, what? What am I supposed to do here? I'm not supposed to, you know, follow the standard rules. It took a time to get used to it, so it was like a thing you kind of learn to love. And after a while, it was just like, okay, this is a really cool game.
One thing that is crystal clear in our mind is not, we don't want to copy. It's really not that. We cannot really copy that. So it's going to be our own flavor, respecting the past, but now we have to adapt it with the today's expectation. You know, the gamer, how do we play game today compared to 10 years ago? It's different. We are more demanding. So we have to make sure that we are going to be a game linked to the future, not to the past. We worked very hard to respect his personality. I really think that the Garrett, you know, the Garrett you like, is really back. Since it's Eidos Montreal who worked on Deus Ex, and we proved that, the studio proved that, yes, we can reinvent a Deus Ex game, the franchise. They had a lot of success. It's really, really a good game. So thanks to them, because it's very useful for us that people are willing to give us a chance. And thank you very much, because I will be honest with you, to bring back the Thief franchise, it's a big challenge. Respecting the past, but now we have to adapt it with the today's expectations.
What we really want to give the players is there's two kinds of options that you have. One is the way you want to play the game. So even if you want to play pretty aggressively, you still have to play hit and run from the shadows. You know, you don't run into the light and you're like, no, I'm gonna, you know, do the Rambo thing. It's not really gonna work. But at the same time, you just want to pass through the entire level without knocking anybody out, you're never seeing kind of thing, but you stole all their stuff in their pockets. That's something that's also an option to the player. Some of the things that have been a challenge to kind of bring into the fidelity of a high graphics and so on is the light and shadow. So we have a very complicated or complex system to detect whether or not you're in the shadows or in the light or in the gray zone, and how the NPCs react to you depending on what state you're in and so on. But we want to make it very clear for the players, so if you're in the deepest, darkest corner, you're pretty safe unless, you know, the guard just walks in front of you, you know, collides into you, he'll see you. But also in how you expect the AI to behave. So if you run into the light, haha, I'm here, and then run into the shadow, they know that you exist. They know you're in a place you shouldn't be, and they will start sweeping the area in the shadows and will try to find you. And so this is one of the big challenges, to make the AI and the shadow gameplay work together to create this illusion of this is actually a real place. This is not just a gimmick of a game mechanic. I'm actually hiding from these guys. So traditional difficulties in action games and so on usually depend on more, you know, how much damage the NPC does, how much health they have, how much health you have, and do you have like special things like regenerative health and stuff like that. They don't really apply to us. So a lot of things we're looking at is how do we make it so players who don't have a lot of time, they can still play the game and have fun with it, but how do we make it really tempting for the super stealth players? So we were looking at the forums and so what people want. So we have some hardcore players in the studio, in the development team, coming up with, oh, it'd be cool if we could disable this feature, you know, we don't want navigation markers and so on. Cool. Do we want it to be auto stop the game if you get detected and alert? We're also debating stuff like that. How difficult do we want to make it? Because that was some of the difficulties the fans made for themselves in, you know, the evolution of the Thief franchise. So this is something we're paying attention to, and this is something we'll probably be tweaking until the end of the production.